And we're going to, the topic today that I have picked is the definition of what yoga, the word yoga itself means. And it comes from the word, to yoke, which also means to unite, to connect. So we're going to talk a little bit about that and work with that in class today. So we live in a very individualistic society, right? And where we think our actions are really independent of other people's actions. And, you know, there's a lot of injustice, there's a lot of power issues, inequalities, oppressions, and they all cause us to act as though we're separate from each other, that we're all these individual kind of things and beings that are separate from each other, right? But and even, let's think about it, even with yoga, sometimes we're in our own little bubble, our own little yoga bubble. We're trying to find unity, right? We're trying to yoke, we're trying to find that connection within ourselves, with our minds, with our bodies, with our breath, with our soul. So we're trying to find that unity within ourselves as an individual, right? But at the same time, right, we know from living in Puerto Rico or in the world, anywhere in the world, we know that what happens if we don't respect the environment, right, that it affects us all, right? Whether it's throwing trash and then we find we go to a dirty beach, or whether it's because of, you know, that we're not taking care of the world and then we get things like more hurricanes or bigger hurricanes or those kinds of things, right? So what if we treat the environment as individuals, right, it affects us collectively. And it's the same with coronavirus, right? We notice that if we are selfish and we like, oh, whatever, we're just going to go out into the world and we're not going to bother with masks, we're not going to bother about infecting other people or getting infected, that can affect us as a collective, right? So actually, in yoga, separateness is an illusion, right? It's about how we are linked together, how we are one, how we are all connected, right? So if we can connect and come together, we become stronger, right? It's about collective consciousness and working together. So cultivating union is really powerful. It's a powerful awakening, right? So it's difficult. It's not an easy thing. And so how do we do it? How do we take action? And so we've been working on the 8 limbs of yoga for a number of weeks, and all of those things apply. So to this issue of union and dismantling. So for example, dismantling our own biases, right? Finding our truthfulness. So what kind of biases, it's uncomfortable to look at those, but we've grown up in a society where there are a lot of biases, or where we learn those along the way. So how can we reflect and just notice, like be truthful with ourselves? What biases do we ourselves hold, right? Can we study ourselves and change and think about becoming more inclusive, finding more union? Right? Can we listen to others and really understand how other people are experiencing life, right? And really believing how that experience is and paying attention to it. Can we find empathy? Can we find compassion? Can we find areas of agreement? So we see a lot of areas where there's disagreement, where people are frustrated because of protests and looting and all of that, but can we not find areas of agreement, saying, for example, like police brutality has to end, right? That's something that we should all be able to agree with, for example. So how can we speak up, protest, educate, all of those things? So it's thinking about yoga as raising the communal consciousness, about becoming an ally, raising others up, particularly when they are being pushed down. It's about coming together as a community. So we're going to play a little bit with those ideas on the mat. Some of them, obviously, we're just one person on the mat, unless you've got your kids with you. But it's playing with those things, those ideas, so that later we can go into the world and try to be a little bit more, or working together a bit more in union. So that's where we're going. So we're going to start with a mudra, a hand gesture, right, that is about union. So we can interlace the fingers together. We can bring it's a bit complicated, but we're going to bring the insides of those index fingers together so they're touching, so they're kind of just linking together, and then the thumbs touch together. So if you look down, it's kind of like a little heart that you've made. And we've got a union between the fingers and the thumbs, and we just place that down on the legs. The shoulders away from the ears, their shoulder blades coming back towards each other, so you're opening through the chest. And then we can close the eyes here. And we're just first of all going to find our connection with the ground. So this is the ground that we all step on, right? We are all connected through the ground, through our breath. We all breathe in the same air that circulates. So finding that connection, so the connection that we have with the earth and the connection that we have with each other. And then bringing the attention to what's happening in this moment. So maybe you hear some sounds around you. Just notice them, whether pleasant or unpleasant. Noticing your breath and really slowing the breath down. Breathing through the nose. Maybe closing the eyes if it feels good. Finding your connection with yourself. And then also perhaps feeling our connection with each other in this class, and each other in the world. Taking a few deep breaths. Noticing what's happening in the mind. It's okay if your mind is chattery. Just notice. So you're going to release the hand mudra, the hand gesture that you've got. You can keep your eyes closed. You can bring your hands behind your back. You're going to clasp your right wrist with your left hand, but behind your back. So this is another mudra of unity. So you're just clasping, left hand is clasping right wrist. You're going to inhale here, opening through the chest. And exhale, you're just going to lean forward, your forehead coming down to the ground. It may not get there, it may. And then inhale, you're just coming up. So you're just inhale, finding that openness in the chest. And exhale, folding forward, so you're moving with your breath. Making sure you open your chest as you inhale. Exhale, you can lift your arms up behind you a bit, stretching back. Inhale, lifting. Movement with breath, finding that unity. One more time, inhaling, coming up. Exhaling, coming down. And then inhale, coming up. You're switching the grasp of the hand. You're switching the cross of your legs. finding that openness of the chest. Inhale. Exhale, folding forward. And one more time, inhaling up, opening chest, exhaling forward, and coming all the way up, releasing the hands, placing them on the thighs, keeping your eyes closed, and just pausing here for a moment. Feeling those vibrations or hearing those vibrations. The vibrations of the universe. And then you can gently open up your eyes. You're just going to sit up really tall, just making sure you're your tallest self. Bringing the left shoulder, left ear down to the left shoulder here. The left arm can reach up, bending the elbow, just placing the hand on the ear just gently and just feeling that pressure of the hand, but you're not pressing it down or anything. Just noticing that opening of the right side of the neck. And then you can play a little bit here. You can press your head or your ear into your hand. So you're creating a bit of resistance. Deep breath here. And then you can keep your ear here, placing the hand back down on the thigh. The other arm lifts so it comes up about hips height from the ground. And you might move your head just a little bit and notice a nice juicy spot that really needs a little bit of attention. And take a couple of deep breaths here. Maybe the next breath you can breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. One more time. Inhale, nose. Exhale, mouth. You can even make sound if you like. Excellent. That hand comes back onto the thigh. You can even use your left hand now just to lift your head up so your neck doesn't have to do any work. And then you're going the other direction. Right ear to right shoulder, just placing it there. For the moment, the left arm can reach up and just gently, other arm, I'm mirror imaged on my computer, it gets a bit confusing. So it's the right arm coming up, hand comes onto my ear. And just gently breathing here, you're not creating any resistance yet. Taking a breath. And then you can find a bit of resistance, just pressing that ear into the hand. That hand can come back down to the thigh, left arm coming out to the side. You can move your neck a little bit or your head around until you find that spot that really needs some attention. And then deep breathing here. Inhale, nose. Exhale, mouth. Inhale, nose. Exhale, mouth. One more. And then that hand can come down. You can pick up your head and just notice how it feels. You might want to move it a little from side to side. You might want to move it to the front or move it to the back. Just really listening to your body. Either whatever you did one way, make sure you do the other. And then you're going to release onto your hands and knees here. So we're going to come hands and knees, spreading the fingers. And we're going to take the left arm out to the side. and thread it between the hand and the knees. So the shoulder, I'm going to move back a little bit, is coming down to the ground. Now the right hand, you can either move it overhead and press the fingertips down on the ground, trying to twist the shoulder up so that you're opening the chest up to the ceiling here. So if it works better, you can place the hand in front of your chest and tent your fingers and find a way to open your chest that way. So it's up to you. And you can also take your right leg, if you want to go a little bit more crazy in this pose, and just bring it out to the side so the ball of the foot or the sole of the foot is pressing into the ground. So you're doing a number of things here. You're pressing that right foot into the ground. You're opening your chest up to the sky. And you're working with your shoulders as well. Taking a couple of breaths here. Notice if something feels uncomfortable or weird or strange. It's okay. Just notice those feelings and sit with it, unless, of course, there's pain, and then come out. And then you're going to drop that knee down. It's a bit awkward. Coming on up here, you're going the other way. So the right arm comes out to the side. You're threading it through. The shoulder is coming down on the ground, and you're finding maybe your left arm. You can maybe even wrap it behind your back and open up that way. Whatever works for you in terms of openness in that shoulder. And then if you like, you can take that left leg out to the side also. Breathing here. Slowly bringing that leg in with consciousness. Hands come back down. You're going to twist on that left knee so that the foot goes back behind you, right leg comes out to the side, reaching up, gate pose here. So you're finding length through the arms. And if you like, you can try and reach the arm up overhead. So we've got a similar kind of action. The chest is opening up to the ceiling. We're getting length from that back foot all the way up to the fingertips of that arm. Now you can stay here if you like, or you can bring the toes in and lift up through that leg. Breathing here, it's challenging. Life isn't easy. We have to, if we work through the challenges though, we can make progress. So breathing here. Maybe lifting that leg up a little bit more. And then placing it back down. Inhale, arms reach all the way up. We're going to bring our thumbs into union here. So the thumbs come together. It's interesting because we're pulling them apart. They're connected, but we're pulling our arms apart, pulling them so they're connected, and we're moving them to the side. And then you can bend your elbows and bring your hands behind you, so you're opening through your shoulders. So you probably feel it in your shoulders. And breathe here. So I'm bringing this behind my head a bit. You may not have such open shoulders. It may be that you have to bring it up over your head a bit, wherever it works. But you've got that action of pulling apart, yet connected. Inhaling, reaching up, you're still pulling your hands apart. And you're just coming over towards the right side. Inhale, coming on up, and we're going over to the left side. So remember, you're still pulling the hands apart while they are connected. Releasing the hands as you come up, and we're going to come back onto all fours. And you can just do a little cat-cow if you want to release. Coming into neutral, we're going the other way. I'm just going to turn so you can see me. So we're going to swivel on that right knee. Let's see if that's, hang on, am I getting, yes, we swiveled on the left knee. So we're swiveling on the right knee. Left leg comes out, arm comes up. Reaching in opposite directions. And then if you like, you can work to bring that arm up overhead. Now you might find you get a better stretch if you bring the fingertips down to the ground and the arm along inside your ear that way. It's another way of opening through the shoulder. Either way, you're trying to twist up towards the sky or the ceiling. The toes of the back feet come in towards you. You're activating that leg, lifting up here. Breathing. Maybe lifting just a little higher with that leg. And placing that foot down. Inhaling, reaching all the way up, connecting those thumbs together, pulling them apart, pulling the arms apart, but keeping them linked here. And then bringing the elbows open, pulling them apart, finding that openness through the chest. Inhale, reaching up and over towards the left side. So reaching, pulling, stretching, all of those things at once. Inhaling up and exhaling over the other way. Inhaling up. And then we can release the arms, bringing the hands back down, knees down. And maybe just again a few cat-cows, inhaling, looking up. Exhale, really rounding here. And then coming into neutral, you're going to tuck your toes, finding your down dog here. Bending your knees a lot to begin with, finding the length through your arms and back, pressing down between the thumbs and the index fingers particularly, finding that length first. And then you can play with lengthening one knee and then the other, and maybe you find more length, but you might continue to keep those knees bent a little bit. Or a lot, that's all fine. Taking a breath in stillness here. Deep inhale and deep exhale. Taking the right hand to the left leg, wherever it gets, and calming into a little twist. Taking a breath, noticing the challenges, and release. Other side, left hand, right leg, twisting open, using that arm on your ankle to help you twist a bit further. Hand comes back, pressing back. And then you're just going to walk your feet towards your hands, folding in half, trying to get chest towards the thighs, bending the knees as much as you need to. Now, holding behind the shins, and maybe bending the knees a lot, getting the chest to the thighs if you can. And then inhale, you're going to try and see if you can lengthen the butt up to the sky. Again, you might keep your knees bent a bit, that's fine. Inhale, you can bend them and look forward a bit, more of a flat back, but with your connection if you can. And exhale, lifting. Inhale, bending here, finding flat back. And then exhale, lifting up. The arms are going to come to the side, finding that flat back. And inhaling, coming all the way up. We're going to come and find some unity with some sun salutations. So it just gets us in the rhythm of moving the breath, moving the body, finding that calmness, that connection within. So inhale, reaching the arms out and up. Exhale, folding forward, flat back and all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, folding forward here. Hands down, right foot comes back, knee coming down, reaching the arms up, holding the breath here, flat, coming into plank, spreading the fingers, heels pressing back. Exhaling, knees, chest and chin, elbows squeeze into the chest, and inhale, scooting the chest forward, opening, shoulders down, elbows squeeze. Exhale, tucking toes, downward facing dog. Taking a breath here. Inhale, right foot forward, knee down, and reaching all the way up. Hands down to the ground, left meets right, folding forward, exhaling. Inhale, reaching out to the side and all the way up of a little back bend. Exhale, hands, heart center. Inhale, reach out and up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. And exhale, fold. Inhale, left leg back, knee down and arms all the way up. It's one breath. Hands come down, holding the breath. Calming into plank. Knees, chest and chin with the exhale here. Squeezing elbows in. And inhale, opening through the chest. Exhale, back to down dog. One breath here. Inhale, left foot forward, knee down, reaching out and up. Exhaling, folding forward, feet toward the front. Inhale, reaching all the way up, a little back bend here. And exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, reaching. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhaling, fold. Inhale, right leg back, knee down. Reaching up. Hands down, hold breath, plank pose. Exhaling, knees, chest and chin. Bottom up in the air. Inhale, opening chest. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right foot forward, left knee down, arms up. Feet coming to the front. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reaching. Little back bend. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, reach. Up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, left back, knee down, reaching all the way up. Coming into holding the breath as we come into plank. Exhale, knees, chest and chin. Inhale, scooting the chest forward and open. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left knee, foot forward, knee down, reaching up. Hands down, fold forward. Exhale here. Inhale, reaching all the way up. And exhale, hands to heart center, closing the eyes here. Just noticing how you feel. Slowing down the breath, slowing down the heartbeat. Excellent. Opening the eyes here. The left foot is going to stay down. We're going to lift the right leg. And we can fold that over the left. So we're coming into a figure of 4. This foot is activated, so the toes are coming in towards the knee. And we're then going to bring the arms all the way up. We're going to connect the thumbs again, pulling the wrists away from each other, the arms away from each other, and coming sitting down. So sitting down, bringing the weight into the heel of the foot, taking a couple of breaths. It's challenging. All the different things going on, the hands coming away from each other, the work that the leg has to do, the openness of the hip. And then inhale, coming up. It's not so easy. Lifting up through that leg, kicking it out in front of you. Excellent. And then you're going to press it back behind you, finding a variation of warrior 3. Toes of the back foot coming in towards you. And then that foot coming down, heel comes down. Breathing here. Bending the elbows, opening through the chest here in your warrior 1. Taking a couple of breaths. Arms reach up. You're going to just move over to one side. It doesn't matter which, because you're going to go over to the other side, still pulling those arms apart, even though they're united. Feeling that strength of connection. Inhale, coming up. And exhale, over to the other side. Coming back up. You're going to bring the hands behind you, so the thumbs are coming towards each other, elbows squeezing in. You're lifting up, getting length through the spine, and just pressing the hips forward, see if you can get a little back bend here, being gentle and kind with your back. Inhaling, calming up. And we're going to open up here into a warrior 2 towards the side. So the feet are perpendicular to each other, knee is pressing slightly to the left side. Excellent. Arms are going to reach out to the side. Taking the right hand, seeing if you can wrap it around and grab onto that left thigh. If that doesn't work, you just place the hand on the lower back. All good. And then we're going to lift the other arm up and come into a reverse warrior here. Breathing, feeling this move, feeling the stretch, feeling unity. You have your feet giving you some groundedness here, connection with the ground. You have your breath helping you to slow things down, including your mind. We bring unity to our bodies. Breathe here. Inhale, calming on up. That hand can stay where it is, the right hand. And reaching forward with that left. You can bring that arm onto that thigh. And we're twisting the chest up to the sky again. Finding that motion of openness in the chest, of opening the shoulder. Now you can stay here. You can also use a block or an equivalent, if you like, in front of you. We're going to step into a half moon, but it's a bound half moon. So you've got just your hand maybe on your back or grabbing your thigh and lifting up. So it's challenging. Toes coming in towards your face to help you to do this pose. Shoulder opening, chest opening. Finding that unity, everything working together. That's how we make a better pose. If our mind is telling us we can't do something, we might fall apart. Breathing here, calming back, calming up with the arms. Right arm coming over the left, coming into eagle arms. You can always just come into a big hug with your arms. Pressing the elbows away, fingers up towards the sky. And we're going to fold forward on the inside of this leg here, coming down. So it's a bit of a fold, it's a bit asymmetrical. Folding down. Taking a breath, noticing the challenge of the legs, they're working hard. And inhale, calming back up, pressing elbows away from you, fingers up to the sky again. Arms on twist, coming out. And then you're just going to bring your hands to your waist, turning forward on that so that your hips are square to the front, lifting up through that back leg and finding that stability again, even though that left leg has been doing a lot of work. Right leg kicks out. Woo. And coming back to center, palms away from you. Mountain pose, find that solidness and close your eyes. Slow the breath down. Slow your heartbeat down. Notice your body working in union. Opening the eyes here, now it's the turn of the right leg to be the anchor. Left leg can come up and we're opening the hip. Foot is active here. We can bring the arms up. We're hooking the thumbs together again, reaching them up, pulling them apart as we come down, sitting, breathing, noticing the challenge. The discomfort is part of life, it's part of yoga. How do we sit with the discomfort and work through it? Have it help us make us be stronger people. It can help to make a stronger world. Taking a breath, coming up, lifting the leg, kicking it out in front of you. And then I'm just turning so you can see. We're going to kick it back behind, calming into a version of warrior 3. You can give your tree a hug like I am. Try to keep the hips even. Leg lifted and stepping back. Warrior 1, the heel back, heel coming down, squaring hips to the front. Elbows bend here. Opening through the shoulders, the chest. And breathe. It's intense. Notice that intensity. Reaching the arms up. And we can come over to the left side with the arms, reaching them back up. Exhaling over to the right. And calming back up, releasing through those arms. A lot of work with the arms and shoulders. Being kind, being compassionate, being gentle if you need to. Thumbs coming towards each other, elbows squeezing together. Lifting up through the whole back. And then maybe pressing hips forward, finding a bit of openness. A little back bend in the chest, in the back. Breathing here. And inhale, calming on up. You can turn the back foot, calming into your warrior 2. And take some time to really find this pose and really solidify this pose. I'm also going to move my block over to the other side so I have it there when I need it. Checking that the knee is above the ankle. Pressing a little to the right side. Arms reaching out. You're going to take that left arm and place it either of the hand on the lower back. You can put the back of the palm on the lower back, or grabbing onto that thigh if you can. No problem if you can't, doesn't matter. Right arm of the right arm moves up, and we're just calming into a reverse warrior here. Bringing it back, reaching forward. Right arm coming down. Again, you're using this to twist open with your chest, with your shoulders, or your top shoulder. Taking a breath here. And then continuing to have that bind or that hand behind the back. You might grab onto a block if you want. And you're going to steady yourself. I have a plant behind me. So finding that steadiness. Lifting up, toes coming in. Stacking those shoulders. Opening the chest up to the side. It doesn't matter if this is a perfect or imperfect pose. The world is not asking us to be perfect. It's just asking us to unite, to take action, right? So taking a breath, we don't have to do that perfectly. And then that foot coming back behind us, opening up through the arms here. This time the right comes on top of the left, finding that either arms or giving yourself a hug, elbows pressing away from you, fingertips coming up to the sky, opening through the shoulders, and then maybe folding forward on the inside of the right leg, breathing. Inhale, coming on up. Coming back to center, releasing through the arms, hands on the hips. We're turning everything towards the front. We can lift that back heel, squaring the hips to the front, lifting up through that left leg, kicking that leg forward, toes active, and then placing that foot down. We've got them solid, hips width distance apart, palms facing forward, closing the eyes. Slowing the breath down. Just checking in and seeing how are you doing physically, mentally, and emotionally. And then gently opening the eyes, we're going to come down to the ground. So we're just going to work to do a little twist here. So we're sitting with the feet, the toes coming up, feet forward, and we're just going to take the right leg and cross it over the left. So if you know that you can bend the other leg, the other knee, and you can sit squarely on both of the sits bones, go for it. Otherwise, you keep the left leg lengthened. Your right leg, your right hand is your kickstand. You're pressing the fingertips down. As though you're just on the fingertips here. So it's like a kickstand. You're lifting up. Left arm comes up, and you're twisting over to the right side, finding a really nice spinal twist here. Inhale, you're getting taller. And exhale, twisting just a little bit more if you can. No worries if that's enough. Inhale back to center. Just opening up this right leg here, or the hip here. So we can find that we're just going to place this on the ground. In fact, we'll bring the other leg up over it. So what happens is we're stacking the log with this. So the left ankle on the right knee, And then the left knee is trying to come down towards that left ankle, activating the toes. You may find that you're a long way from there, that's fine. You just find something to go in between and see if you can relax down. If it's really challenging, you can always move the bottom leg forward a little bit. Just breathing. So wherever you're at, you might find that you lengthen here with your hands on the ground, fingertips on the ground, finding length. Or you might find space that you can come forward a little bit. But it all depends on the hips. And being kind and compassionate to those hips is okay. If they don't want to go there, they don't need to go there right now. Breathing here. Everybody's different. Just breathing. And release. Other side, so it's left knee bends, crossing it over the other leg, using your left hand with fingertips pressing down, right arm coming up, and twisting here. And of course, you can come into the variation if you can get both sits bones comfortably on the ground. And you're using, maybe you're pressing your arm into the leg to help you twist just a little bit more. Inhale, finding length, exhaling, twisting. Inhale, coming back through center. And this time you've got your left leg on the ground, right ankle coming on top. And again, it may be that you get here. That's all fine. You're just gently pressing that leg down and eventually trying to find this triangle inside of your legs and trying to open up through the hips. It's something we have to learn patience and kindness with. Inhale, finding length, getting tall, and exhale, maybe coming forward. Slowly finding your way up, releasing through the legs. The hands come back behind you, fingertips facing forward, feet pressing down. Inhale, lifting the hips up, head coming back. If it feels good for your neck, you can always have it up a little bit if you need to. Just listening, pressing hips up to the sky, releasing the butt down. And then you're going to come into to lying down on the ground. So you can come one vertebra at a time, if that feels good. Slowly bringing yourself down and bringing your knees into chest, giving yourself a big hug. Recognizing that things are challenging, things are hard. Finding unity is hard. But feeling that strength within you and then stretching out, still lifting your shoulders, your legs, just your heels of your legs just a bit. Maybe feeling the shakiness in your body a little bit. That's okay. And release. Letting go. Shoulders pressing down into the ground. Legs pressing down. Everything releasing just for a moment. Maybe closing your eyes for a moment. So you've got some options here. You can come up into legs up the wall or waterfall. Or you can play with a shoulder stand if you like. So if you're doing shoulder stand, just being careful that you're not putting pressure on your neck, that it's in your shoulders, and that you're not looking around with your gaze. And then you're inhaling, bringing elbows towards each other at the back, pressing the balls of the feet up to the sky. And you can come into any variations that you like here, maybe coming into Baddha Konasana with the soles of the feet together. Maybe finding a straddle pose. And then you can bring your legs up if you like. And maybe bring the legs up behind you and overhead.
If you can reach the toes to the ground, you can release your hands from the back and interlace them, pressing them down into the ground. You could also otherwise bring your knees bent either side of your ears. Wherever you are, that's fine. If you're up in waterfall, you can also come into any variations that you like or any other poses. And then slowly getting long through those legs. Okay, and rolling one vertebra at a time down to the ground. And I love to do the opposite here of shoulder stand, coming into fish pose. So we're opening through the chest. You're pressing your lower arms into the mat. Imagining you've got a strap around your chest, lifting up. Maybe the head comes back towards the ground if it feels okay on your neck. Otherwise, maybe lifting your head up a little bit. Breathing here. Noticing the openness of your neck. And then slowly calming down. One more really nice unconditional hug here. And then calming down. We're going to come into a spinal twist of choice. So you can do it any way you like. For me today, I'm going to take my right knee in towards my body. I might lift up my left leg to give myself a little bit of workout in my core for a moment. Maybe take 3 breaths here. And then I'm going to release my left leg, bringing my right knee across my body. The right arm is coming out perpendicular to my body. I'm either going to look up at the ceiling if my neck is a little bit quirky, or looking over the right fingertips, finding a little neck stretch too. And closing my eyes, so going a little bit more inwardly. Taking just a few breaths here. Coming back through center, squeezing the left knee in, or doing whatever you did opposite on the other side. So we're just squeezing the left knee in if you're going with me. The right leg lifted off the ground a little bit. Breathing here. Releasing that right leg down to the ground. Moving the knee across the body, maybe bringing the left arm out, left shoulder pressing into the ground. Either looking up with the gaze or over the fingertips, closing the eyes if it feels good. And breathe. And then calming through center, you can give yourself one final squeeze here if you like. And then stretching out, giving yourself as much space as you need. The feet just falling out to the side, the arms coming palm face up, out. And close your eyes here if it feels good. Shavasana. So there's nothing you need to do here. And for some of us that's hard, for some of us that's easy. It doesn't matter, just be. There's nothing you need to do. You don't need to worry about your thoughts. You don't need to control your breath. Just be here in this moment.
Finding a little bit of movement in your body, maybe wriggling fingers or toes, finding a little bit of circular movement with your wrists or with your ankles. Maybe move your head from side to side, just really gently, releasing any final tension that might be holding out there. And arms coming up overhead, stretch from fingertips to toes, knees coming in here, and gently rolling onto your right side. You can use your right arm as a pillow if you like. Finding fetal pose. Pausing here, noticing the ground there to support you. And then pressing yourself up into a seated pose. So sitting up as tall as you can, we're coming back into that mudra for unity. So remember the fingers interlace. We're going to bring the index fingers in towards each other, thumbs touch, and just lay them down on your legs, shoulders relax, and the shoulder blades towards each other, and closing the eyes here. And we're just going to breathe for a moment. So we're going to take an inhale of 4. We're going to hold the breath for 4. And then exhale for 8. So inhale 4, hold the breath for 4. And exhale 8. If it doesn't work, if it's too long on the exhale, then adjust it. It's fine. Listening to yourself. Final breath. And just pause for a moment, even if you don't know what it is yet. Just consider how you can bring the unity, that coming together, that connectiveness into the world. Bringing the hands together at heart center. Inhale, reaching out to the sides and all the way up, noticing that union of your hands as they connect at the top. And exhale, bringing the hands into heart center and that energy. Inhale, reaching out, connecting all the way. Once they get to the top, finding that connection, hands, fingers, and exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, reaching out and up. Exhaling, bringing that unity, that connection in towards your heart. And perhaps considering how to spread it outside of it too. Pausing for a moment, finding gratitude for yourself, for finding unity in your own body and your mind today. And then bringing the hands up to the third eye center, hoping that we can find some unity in our world. Thank you for joining me today. Namaste.